So there's one thing Americans can agree on is that the future's looking bleaker. A ballooning war in Iran doesn't seem to help people in terms of their, you know, thoughts and pessimism about the future. And the world is always going to do better if we can find ways to build trust and cohesion and build that sense of optimism. And so to do that, we need alternatives. Okay, I went to see Bernie Sanders talk, and one of the things that I think is important. I was writing down notes and points where I agree or disagree, but I really agree that we need a strong alternative vision to tell the American people that this is what Democrats stand for. This is what your future could be, and really we need to identify what the crises are. So I think we live in a crisis of AI. There's a lot of concerns about displacement of jobs, just in general, the concentration of power with the capital that is required to run AI, and then losing a lot of labor power, and job losses or constraints in hiring that we've been seeing. I mean, the numbers keep going down, and it's no wonder that that's happening when we don't have a lot of certainty about anything that's going to be going on. But we can't just like focus on one thing. It can't just be AI. It also has to be focused on like the greater problem of it's miserable. Like I talk to my brother, or I talk to like folks that are younger than me, and they see no hope of starting a family. If you talk to a young Gen Z, they're not going to be like, oh yeah, like I have a future. They're going to say, no, I'm just going to, you know, live whatever life I can now because I can't engage in a delusion. And we can't continue that kind of a society. We can't just write people off. We need to focus on the youth. So this is just identifying the triple crises that we are engaged in. And so the crises are AI and capital, concentration of power, the disintegration of abilities for folks to start families, and the final part is just a collapse of civic trust and a difficulty that, you know, we're not going to just compromise or come together. We need to create new institutions that then can, from the ground up, build trust. Because there is not going to be a compromise or a reconciliation between both sides. That's a pipe dream. There needs to be accountability and responsibility and a sense that things are occurring as they should. No, that people are achieving justice.